Gravity is a blessing. In build 42.11, they changed fall damage. For those that want the quick notes, you take damage based on how much you are carrying. You can survive a fall from one floor higher than before, and a single story fall can be fatal. If you want the pro tips, stay a minute. It's not a long video. Starting off with these patch notes. They pretty much mean nothing. This first bit tells us that breaking a bone will do HP damage. That's important later when it comes to the medical system. The rest of this doesn't matter as it was already similar from the launch of build 42 Unstable. The second group of notes simply state, an existing injury will cause extra HP damage when falling. This will straight up kill you. Don't jump if you are already injured. The last bit is zombie things you don't care about unless you are doing a skyscraper challenge. If the patch notes will not tell us what really changed, it's all up to us to test things out. So, in build 41, a fall from the second floor only does HP damage. I'm doing this with a default character, no nasty negative traits or mods that change things. Third floor leads to deep wounds or fractures, and fourth floor is fatal. In build 42, as it currently exists, the second floor does HP damage. There's also a small chance for a muscle strain, a fracture, or a deep wound. Fractures are no longer limited to your legs. Put together, that's kinda a nerf to build 42's gravity, but it evens out later. Third floor does the same things, and they are supposed to be more common. Fourth floor is the same as the third. This would be fatal in build 41, but in build 42 it isn't, which hopefully evens out the low chance to break your foot from a single story fall. What about fatal single story falls? Everything in build 42.11 is based off of how much weight you are carrying, and it does take into account your strength. A stronger character will take a little less damage, although breakpoints can negate the usefulness. The damage you take is based on the amount you are carrying in relation to your carry weight. So 6 weight will do more damage to a character with no strength compared to a character with 10 strength. That leads into the question you all want answered. Can we exploit it? Yeah, more on it later. If you carry the max amount, which is 50, there's a chance a single story fall is fatal. Since the fall itself now does a significant amount of HP damage in general to all of your limbs, you can still quickly bleed out even if you initially survive. Wounds in Project Zomboid reduce the health of your limbs until you properly treat them or they hit 0. This reduces your overall health based on how important said limb in question is. In this case, a deep wound will both cause you to bleed and drain the HP of the limb it's on. Acquiring the wound itself doesn't set that limb to 0 HP, yet it does damage your overall HP, which means losing 90% of your HP from a fall sets you up to bleed out very quickly. No one even carries a splint on them at all times, let alone the amount of time it might take to apply it and stitch up a deep wound. Carrying too much is a bad idea when you jump, but what about nothing at all? You can completely avoid damage. It seems the devs forgot to set a minimum amount of damage and instead scale damage entirely off of carry weight. At least that's how it plays out in game, which disagrees with the alleged 50% chance for fractures on higher falls laid out in the patch notes. So here I am, naked, face planting from the 4th floor. 0 damage, and seemingly no chance at any wounds either. Just putting on a pair of shoes causes some amount of damage, but it's easily written off. However, we all know you don't have the time to strip naked before you panic jump out of a window, which means the new meta to clear buildings is naked aside from a pair of shoes, a backpack, and a single weapon in your hands. You can then keybind the functions to quickly drop your backpack and weapon before you belly flop from the 4th floor. This reinforces the previous meta of stripping naked during the summer months to min-max fatigue generation, or what I like to call the no pants gang. That's all. You're amazing, and I'll see you next patch when they fix this.